You always knew the bad news was coming with Todd because he'd go, here's the thing. And he said, we're going to lose the orchestra in Dresden and we have to do all of the conducting first.
I do think there's a distinct lack of shame in society. And I think shame is very different to guilt.
Just when people thought Justin Baldoni was finally the bad guy, Blake Lively proved she will always be the bad guy.
Oh, you guys, grab your tea because it is piping hot today. So word on the street is that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' little habit of throwing shade and bullying folks in Hollywood, yeah, it didn't start and definitely isn't ending with the whole Justin Baldoni drama. And guess who just spilled all the tea? None other than Queen Cate Blanchett herself. Now listen, when someone as classy and unbothered as Cate Blanchett comes forward with her own horror story about Blake and Ryan, baby, you just know it's 10 times messier than we ever imagined. And get this, Blake didn't just try to ride on Cate's legacy. Allegedly, she straight up snatched it and basically spat in Cate's face when she got called out. Like, the audacity? But in true Cate fashion, no screaming, no dramatic meltdown. Nope, sis kept it cool, calm, and collected while secretly plotting the most subtle but absolutely savage revenge. And from the looks of it, Cate might be the one to finally shut down Blake and Ryan's bad behavior for good. So buckle up, because we are about to unpack everything. Let's get into this mess.
Who's the biggest diva on set?
Biggest diva on set of Gossip Girl.
You can say it because it's so far away from where you are now. That show's over. I suggest that you do not pass on another question.
Thank you, Chelsea. I wish I could take all of my passes back and use them all right now. Yeah. Let me just say, that was a tough show to film, and I didn't end up actually filming all of the episodes I was supposed to because it was such a tough film.
Really? Literally, you said, get me out of this.
It was also like, get him out of here. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
So it just literally was that. Whose love interest were you?
I was Blake Lively's love interest.
You were?
Yeah.
Okay, well
Sounds
then.
like she was the problem.
It sure does, Chelsea.
Now, if you know anything about La Blanchette, you know that Cate and Chanel go together like peanut butter and jelly. Iconic, timeless, and simply meant to be. For over a decade, Cate has been the face of Chanel, and it's been a match made in fashion heaven. I mean, Cate isn't just your run-of-the-mill Hollywood actress. She's pure class, dripping with prestige and that old-school cinematic royalty. And Chanel, that's exactly their vibe. Cate has been attending those private fittings, sitting front row at couture shows, and in 2021, she even signed a multi-season contract to be the face of Chanel's Women in Cinema campaign. Get this, they even had a legacy short film in the works, written by Cate's husband, Andrew Upton. It was black and white, no dialogue, just two women serving raw emotion through pure acting. Literally art, y'all. Everything was signed, sealed, and ready to go. But when the big reveal day came, boom, Blake Lively shows up out of nowhere. Fans were like, why is Blake here? Where's Cate? Did something go down? Well, turns out there was no fight between Cate and Chanel. Nope, Blake showing up was cold, calculated sabotage. Allegedly, someone from Chanel quietly told Cate's team that the campaign direction had changed, which in industry lingo basically means, bye, you're out. You see, Cate was blindsided. No warning, no drama, just cut off. And suddenly, Blake pops up as the new face of the campaign. But here's the kicker. They didn't even bother changing Cate's original concept. They just threw on some glitter, slapped in a few cheesy motivational quotes, added some red lipstick, and called it a day. Like, the disrespect is astronomical. Now, get this. Even the backstage crew working on the Chanel campaign were shocked when Cate Blanchett got replaced. Like, they didn't even try to hide it. One stylist even leaked texts saying it was never supposed to be Blake. Her team offered Chanel a cross-platform deal they couldn't refuse, but pulling Cate like that, bold, maybe too bold. Whew, the shade is palpable. But oh honey, that was only the beginning of Blake's little takeover. Blake's team launched a full-on campaign to make Kate look like yesterday's news, while Blake swooped in like she was saving Chanel from fading into obscurity. The audacity, right? So then March 2023 rolls around, and Chanel hosts this super exclusive private dinner in Paris, a guest list full of legacy actresses, directors, creative elites, you name it. Kate had RSVP'd months ago and was supposed to debut her husband's artsy little short film that night, but 2 weeks before the event, boom, Blake Lively is suddenly announced as the brand honoree of the evening, and Kate's film quietly swapped out for Blake's shiny new theme, cross-platform storytelling through beauty, film, and wellness. Yep, just like that. Now, you'd think Kate would cancel, right? Nope, Queen Blanchett showed up, head held high, but of course, Blake couldn't just let her have that grace. According to insiders, Blake was overheard at the dinner trash-talking Kate's husband's script, saying, "It was beautiful, but a little outdated, right?" And the Chanel exec at her table, he allegedly laughed and said, "Legacy doesn't sell to Gen Z." And guess who overheard every word? Yup, Kate. She didn't make a scene, but insiders say she looked heartbroken the rest of the night. Like, can you imagine? But here's where it gets even messier. Fast forward to April 2023, and Blake's big Chanel x Netflix crossover campaign drops. But Chanel's PR team forgot to pull an old feature piece in a British fashion mag that was written back when Kate was still the face of the campaign. And guess what? The article named Kate, mentioned her creative input, and even talked about her husband's short film. It accidentally went live for 3 hours, long enough for social media to blow up. Screenshots started flying, and suddenly everyone was dragging Blake, accusing her of stealing Kate's legacy and silencing her. The backlash? Nuclear. Kate stayed classy. She never directly addressed the drama, but she did fire off a savage little shot during an award speech in Berlin. Someone leaked the clip before it mysteriously vanished, where Kate said, "There's a difference between honoring a story and owning it like it was always yours. One builds legacy, the other builds ego." I mean, tell me that's not a direct hit at Blake. Meanwhile, Blake's team went into full panic mode. A big press appearance on a YouTube fashion talk show got canceled last minute, officially scheduling conflicts. But behind the scenes, insiders say the host was planning to grill Blake about the Kate drama on air. Oof. That would have been catastrophic. And honestly, by then the damage was already done. Blake's carefully polished image started crumbling, one card at a time. Meanwhile, Kate, she didn't stoop low, didn't scheme revenge. She just moved on, booked, busy, and unbothered, like the true queen she is. But best believe this whole saga exposed a side of Blake people won't forget anytime soon. So, while Blake Lively's carefully crafted America's sweetheart image was crumbling, Cate Blanchett was out here handling the whole Chanel betrayal with a level of class and grace that most Hollywood stars could only dream of. In June 2023, Kate and her husband Andrew Upton premiered an original two-person play at the Sydney Theatre Company, written by Andrew, directed by Kate. And no, this wasn't some flashy comeback or media stunt. Nope, there was zero PR, no red carpets, just a cozy crowd of film nerds and real theater lovers. But here's where the tea gets steamy. The play was originally titled Lines That Weren't Meant to Be Read, but at the last minute, they changed it to The Credit. And let's just say fans clocked that as a not-so-subtle dig at Blake Lively for snatching Kate's campaign and failing to give her credit. I mean, the shade is chef's kiss. Kate, as always, stayed elegant and kept it moving, but let's be real. At this point, people were done with Blake's antics, because turns out Kate wasn't the first, and she sure wasn't the last victim of Blake's alleged mean girl behavior. Yup, word on the street is that Blake Lively has a long history of bullying co-stars, stealing spotlights, and making sets miserable when the shine wasn't on her. And receipts have been popping up left, right, and center. Case in point, an old interview clip just resurfaced, and it's cringe overload. Blake was on set with her Gossip Girl co-stars and decided to make a joke about Leighton Meester being born in prison, and then compared the other cast members to monkeys in a cage. Like, girl, what? The body language in that clip? Leighton and the others looked so done. You could practically feel the awkwardness through the screen, and let's not forget, Gossip Girl's executive producer, Joshua Safran, already spilled years years ago that Blake and Leighton couldn't stand each other on set. Back then, he tried to play it off like they were just different personalities. But now that the clip has gone viral, fans are calling it out for what it is: textbook mean girl behavior. And if you think that's bad, enter Armie Hammer. Yep, back when he worked with Blake, even he couldn't take her diva antics. In an interview with Andy Cohen, Armie let it slip that Blake acted like a total nightmare on set. Everything had to be done her way, and she would allegedly throw tantrums over the smallest things. Armie tried to keep it diplomatic, but you could see in his face that working with Blake left him scarred. Sis, it's giving Hollywood bully in a sweetheart costume, and fans are finally waking up. Between the Chanel drama with Kate, the resurfaced Gossip Girl tension with Leighton, and Armie's behind-the-scenes shade, Blake's whole carefully curated image is starting to look like a house of cards ready to collapse. So we've all heard the whispers, but now it's starting to sound more like a pattern. Apparently, when Blake Lively doesn't vibe with someone on set, she doesn't just keep it to herself. Nope. Allegedly, she makes it her mission to turn the whole cast and crew against that person too. Ever wonder why Penn Badgley had such a rough start fitting in on the Gossip Girl set? Well, word on the street is that from day one, Blake was out here telling directors and co-stars that Penn was difficult and bad energy, and that they should keep their distance. Poor Penn was iced out for weeks before people started realizing, maybe he's not the villain here. And guess what? When the cast finally warmed up to Penn, they found out he was nothing like Blake painted him to be. Classic Mean Girl playbook, right? And just when you think it couldn't get messier, boom. Enter Justin Baldoni and the It Ends With Us drama. Oh, besties, this one is next level shady. So, when Justin came forward saying Blake tried to push him out of the director's chair, people were shocked, but let's be real, not surprised. Reports say Blake didn't just want the spotlight, oh no. She was allegedly rewriting scripts behind Justin's back without permission. And when he said no to using her version, Sis allegedly pulled out her big guns, threatening to sick her dragons on him, aka her bestie Taylor Swift and hubby Ryan Reynolds. I mean, the audacity is astronomical, but wait, it gets even shadier. Allegedly, Blake was already sliding into Colleen Hoover's DMs, trying to get herself lined up to direct the next movie before any of the lawsuits against Justin had even dropped. Mind you, Justin's contract gives him full rights to direct and produce the entire series, unless he gets tangled in a morally damaging scandal. And suddenly Blake's behind-the-scenes maneuvering starts looking real suspicious, doesn't it? Meanwhile, Cate Blanchett, queen behavior only. She stood her ground and refused to let Blake push her to the sidelines like she did with everyone else. Cate said, "Not today, sweetheart, but now I want to know, do you think Cate should have gone even harder against Blake, or did she play it smart by staying classy while Blake's empire slowly starts crumbling? And y'all, do you think this is the beginning of the end for Blake Lively's career? Is Hollywood finally done with her Mean Girl era? Anyways, what do y'all think? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to check out our other videos for even more tea. Till next time, bye.